This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Oh, welcome back, everyone. This is the X-Zone on the Talkstar Radio Network and the X-Zone Broadcast Network, coming to you from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, and around the world on our growing family of broadcast affiliates across Canada, the United States, Central America, the Caribbean, South America, the Pacific Rim, Asia, Africa, and Europe. Toll-free worldwide, 1-800-610-7035. Email xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On MSN Messenger, xzoneradiotv@hotmail.com. And our website, www.xzoneradiotv.com. My next guest is one of my most favorite people in the whole wide world. She brings more love to wherever she is than any other person I know. Jill Dahne is our special guest, and she truly is the love psychic. You know, she's been quoted in the book 100 Top Psychics. Dateline NBC says, and this is a quote, "Jill is so on target with her predictions, we were amazed." Jill is sought after as the psychic to the stars. And you know what? I could sit here for a good couple of hours and tell you all about Jill. But what I'd rather do is bring her on right now as the love psychic, our good friend Jill Dahne. Jill, welcome back to the X-Zone. How are you, sweetie?
I'm doing great. And, you know, I've been on radio my whole life, and you're my favorite.
There you got me blushing again. Listen, I have to ask you, with all that is going on in the world today, you know, there's a lot of people who are looking towards 2012 as doom and gloom. As the love psychic, how do you see the year 2012 and 2013?
2012 and 2013 is going to be magnificent years for everybody. First of all, like right now, when I predicted Canada that the real estate market last year, I said would pick up.
Yeah.
You know, it's picked up 20% already from what I heard from people out there. And so I'm really happy about for, you know, everyone in Canada. But for, you know, all over the world, for 2012 and 2013, it's going to be a magnificent years for everyone. It's going to be a pick-me-up year where, you know, people are going to have jobs, you know, financial is going to, you know, start lifting up for people. Health, you know, there's going to be major breakthroughs with cures and for autism and for, you know, for cancer and AIDS. You're going to start to see all these great breakthroughs and properties. People are going to, you know, be able to buy and sell again, and the stocks are going to be back up. So, you know, it's going to be they're going to be great years, if I could say. You know, I remember going back to the year 1999, and I was asked this question.
Oh, my gosh, Y2K.
Yes. And everybody was like so frantic, and my phone was ringing off the wall, and I was doing a lot of TV, and they kept asking me the same question: what's going to happen? Is the world going to end? And I said, no, you're going to wake up, and it's going to be sunshine. It's going to be the same day, you know, but a nicer day. And everybody thought because of the computers we weren't equipped or anything of that fact. And what happened? We woke up. It was a brand new day, sunshine. You know, and it was, you know, maybe in some states it was cold, you know, but it was the same day. And that's what's going to happen where everybody has been so much fear. They've been putting a lot of fear. There's a lot of people out there putting fear factors in people's brains, you know, and everybody's walking around in fear. Oh, my God, 2012, it's going to be, you know, like, you know, there's going to be bombings and things like that. That's not true. It's going to be a whole, you know, everything's going to be lifted from all what we're going through now and what everyone went through as we speak right now. It's a lot of times it's brought a lot of people closer together, a lot of family members together. People are spending money more wisely, and at least everything's going to be like a lift, and I'm excited.
All right, Jill, stand by, my dear. You and I have to take a commercial break. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Jill Dahne is our very special guest, the one and only Love Psychic. JILLDAHNE.
This is Kevin Randall.
JillDahne.com.
For nearly 30 years,
we'll be
I have
back
been
on the other
investigating
side of
the
this
case of
2-minute
the
break.
Roswell
Don't
UFO.
go away.
I have interviewed hundreds of people and stood on the crash site. Now, in Roswell in the 21st century, I have reviewed dozens of hours of audio and videotaped interviews, examined hundreds of files that relate to the crash, and have returned to Roswell in an attempt to put all that information into the proper perspective. For the first time in Roswell in the 21st century, I have made a dispassionate reevaluation of all that material and provide a new look at what happened. This is a book that clears away all the clutter that has hidden the truth for so long, strips away the various lies that surround the case, exposes the Air Force attempts at cover-up, and found a core of solid information that tells us all where the case stands today. Roswell in the 21st century will be available in just a few weeks. For more information, please visit my website at www.kevinrandall.blogspot.com.
Gibbs A. Williams, Ph.D., is a practicing psychoanalyst, supervisor, researcher, and author in New York City. Much of his life has been dedicated to understanding nature and the uses of meaningful coincidences or synchronicities. His radical and original non-Jungian, non-mystical, non-magical theory of synchronicities illuminates much of the fog surrounding this challenging and perplexing topic. His ideas and manners are fresh, presented in a style that is both entertaining and highly informative. He is also an expert on crisis intervention, specially focused on violence reduction for the police and citizens, mastering anxiety, frustration, and stress without the use of medication, and effectively preventing and treating heroin addiction. Dr. Williams can be contacted at his email address at gwwilliamsny11@aol.com or visit his website at www.drgibbswilliams.com.
Shamanism is recognized as a method to access the quantum level. Mastery of shamanic skills puts spiritual information and healing power into your hands. Path Home Shamanic Art School, a bonded Colorado certified occupational school, has met rigorous state standards, ensuring its director and instructors have the qualifications to teach the shamanic arts. Path Home offers its certification program in blocks of study. Block 1, a 5-day intensive, will be held in the beautiful mountain town of Coaldale, Colorado, October 13th through 18th. Registration deadline is September 12th. Experience journey trance, power animals, helping spirits, sacred space, and life purpose. Come discover your power. Join me, Gwilda Wiyaka, in the magical world of shamanism. Call 303-775-3431 or visit findyourpathhome.com.
With each new extreme weather event or terrorist act, it becomes increasingly obvious that we live in uncertain and challenging times. We all buy car insurance. Why not collapse and catastrophe insurance? Matthew Stein, an MIT-trained engineer and green builder, has written 2 outstanding books to help people prepare, plan for, and deal with everything from minor situations lasting a few days to full-on collapse. Matt's first book, When Technology Fails, is a manual for self-reliance, sustainable living, and surviving the long emergency. This massive book covers the gamut from first aid and emergency preparedness to alternative healing, renewable energy, primitive living skills, and 18th century technologies that could be critical to your comfort and survival in a long-lasting crisis. Matt's second book, When Disaster Strikes, is a comprehensive emergency preparedness handbook and survival guide. When Disaster Strikes is an essential item for every family's go bag. Both books are available at all usual sources. There's a wealth of totally free information posted at whentechfails.com, and author-signed copies may be purchased at mattstein.com. That's www.whentechfails.com and www.mattstein.com. Jill Dahne is my special guest, www.jilldahne.com. Jill, last time you and I were talking, we talked about the economy, and I was wondering if you had any further insight into the U.S. economy and the banking industry, as well as the unemployment situation, because you know what? There are so many people out there today who are just, oh my gosh, a lot of people are just looking at personal tragedies one after the other, and is there any end in sight for them?
Yes, there's going to be a lot of insight, ending with the economy going bad. Little by little, I believe it's going to start to pick up. I made a prediction over a year and a half ago that for 2010 going into 2011, the U.S. is going to start opening up manufacturing companies in the U.S. and not using China so much. And a lot of different manufacturers, like, maybe with the cars and the clothes and just all different materials that we need over here, and it's gonna give jobs to a lot of people in the U.S. where it's gonna help the U.S. grow as well. So the economy, I see it picking up. I know it doesn't sound right at this moment. Nothing sounds great when things are not going so great right now, but it will. Watch within the next few years after we start building. And they're going to start building, I was predicting, back like in Michigan and in Ohio, they're going to start building this. I remember when I had made a prediction that certain cars would be going out of business, car companies. Mm-hmm. And I didn't like that prediction. And, Saab and all those companies went under. They went down. Yeah. But on the good note, they're going to start car manufacturers down here, where it's going to help the U.S. and help a lot of people with jobs as well.
I keep notes in a file whenever I have a guest on, and in your file, I just found a couple of notes, and one of them, believe it or not, was Tiger Woods will fall from grace.
Yes.
And you nailed it dead on.
Yes, I did, but I also said that his wife will stick by. She's been sticking by, right?
Yes, she has.
Everybody said that he was going to go through a divorce, and also just recently the Oscar Awards, that was back, November, December time. I said Sandra Bullock would win an Oscar for The Blind Side, and she did.
Yeah, she was great in that.
That was on your show.
Yeah, and
that was the first time I predicted it your show.
It was great seeing Catherine Bigelow getting the Director of the Year as well.
Yeah, well, I did make a prediction that, that this year would be a lot about women. Mm-hmm. And a lot of women would be getting involved, in the White House. And I think I also said on your show about Oprah Winfrey
yes.
Doing something with the White House, So, and as you see, she's, in the year 2011, she's not going to be on her regular show. She's taking it over to her own company. I said on your show.
Isn't it funny, though, when I heard that the social director of the White House was released, what came to my mind was what a wonderful opportunity for Oprah.
Correct. And people thought I was crazy when I made this prediction for Oprah going into the White House. But you're going to start to see she's going to be a lot in that White House, you mark my words. And there's going to be a lot of women. Everything, I'm not favoring women, but mm-hmm. That's something I saw, that it's the year for women, this coming year and next year. A lot of women are going to be, on top of jobs, as, the executives
yep.
and you'll see them in Congress. You'll see them all over the place. It's going to be amazing.
And you know what? I am very happy about that, because look throughout history. The great countries, the great nations always had a woman at the helm when they did their best, or when they were getting from one historical venue to the next. It was always a woman. Some of the greatest leaders in the world were women, and still are women. Queen Elizabeth, Queen Victoria, Margaret Thatcher, and the list goes on. So I'm very happy to see a woman replacing some of the men who are just sitting there with their fingers in their ears.
I'm ecstatic by that, because as well, if you would think, I remember 10 years ago, well, we're going on 11 now, but I remember 11, let's just say 11 years ago, mm-hmm. when I said there's going to be an African American and a woman running for president. Oh my God, did I get, people were saying, they said, Jill, you're losing your mind now. That will never happen. And I said, the world is going to change.
Yep.
And it's going to change in the right way, where people are going to be more open. And look what happened. Obama and Hillary Clinton were running for president, and Obama won. And, and he's an African American.
Yes.
And it's amazing how the world is changing, and it's only going to be changing in the right way. You're going to start to see some major good events coming up. The only one prediction that is not a fantastic prediction that I'm predicting is July. I see something up with Israel where, there's going to be a lot of, fighting and things going on there. You're going to hear about that. That's going to be around July 11th. But other than that, our world is going to pick up.
I'm going to have...
And California's still going to be there.
We're going to have to change your name to Panasonic because you're slightly ahead of your time.
Thank you. Well, I started predicting when I was 13. That's what the book, The Ghost, it's called Ghost, Witches, and ESP, and I'm in the ESP part. That was my first major prediction.
Tell me, speaking about predictions, any celebrity predictions that you can share with us?
Yes. Okay, let's see. God, I wrote so many predictions this year. The Kardashians.
Mm-hmm.
Kim Kardashian, we're going to hear about engagement and wedding bells. And right away, pregnancy. Khloe, I see her getting pregnant this year. We'll hear about it by the fall, around November, December time as well. There's going to be a lot of babies being born this year. You're going to hear about Tom Cruise and Kate giving birth to a boy this year, being pregnant and giving birth. And also Beyonce, I've said this before, that by this year we'll see her pregnant. And also another great prediction I'm really excited about is my prediction about Williams and Kate will be getting married this year.
That's going to be one heck of a great wedding.
That's going to be a wedding like Diana. Remember when I think I was around 15 watching that wedding.
That was just...
And that's going to be another wedding like that. And then he'll be king. You'll see.
That was a true fairy tale princess wedding, and she was so gracious, and it was such a tragedy when we lost Lady Diana.
That I was so hurt. I love that woman. She was so good to humanity. She was so good. But, she opened doors, and it's amazing how all these magnificent people opened doors to everybody. And she opened doors for Africa, if I could say.
Yeah.
And now all these fabulous stars out there are, helping people in Africa. And, there's going to be, they're going to be opening up all these medical and hospitals out there. So it's wonderful. She's the one who really opened the doors.
When you're doing your predictions, do they come to you as movies in your mind's eye, or does it come to you clairaudient, clairvoyant, clairsentient? How do you do it?
It's like when I make a prediction, it's like a video camera, and it's like I could see fast backwards or fast forward. It's like really weird, and it's like right in front of me, and it's like I'm predicting everything about the person, what's going to be ahead, and or what's there's some people what's going on right now in their life, and sometimes it doesn't sound right. Oh my God, I'm not going to get married for 5 years. Well, if you would tell someone they're getting married tomorrow, that would be lying, And if I see the number 5, and that means 5 years for me because I keep seeing 5 years, or if I'll see like the person that was just here, it was a client of mine from 15 years ago, and now she has a ring on her finger. So every person's different. But when I make predictions for the world, it's like I see all these things, and it's like when I was on MSNBC and I saw bombings in Madrid. I kept seeing Madrid, and I saw bombings everywhere, and I kept seeing trains, and I kept seeing a month, and I kept seeing March. March kept coming in front of me. And so when I went on MSNBC and I said to the talk host, Rick Sanchez, I said, don't go to Spain in March, because there's going to be bombings. I keep seeing trains. And he canceled his tickets on the show. And then that was December 31st. I was on for New Year's. And then March, there was bombings in Madrid.
I remember that.
So, and it was like, it's like a video, like right in front of me. It's not like I hear things. It's like I see them. So, and every person's different. Some people see things, they hear things, some people, I guess, have spirit guides, I can't call for everybody, but this is what I see. What happens to me since I was little.
So this is how it's been ever since you were 13.
No, since I was 6.
6, my Lord.
6 years old. 6 years old. When I was 6 years old, I would be sitting in a classroom, and I was in a public school, and the teacher was very Catholic. And it was a public school, so it wasn't like a private school. And I kept seeing everything right before she would say something, I'd say it, and she was scared. She kept calling me a witch, and I'm not a witch, I may be a white witch, but I'm not a witch. I have ESP, So, and back then it was called ESP. There wasn't names like medium or the names they have now.
Hey, Jill, you and I have to take our news break at the bottom of the hour. Please stand by. Jill Dane's our special guest, JILLDAHNE.com. And Jill is the one and only love psychic. We'll be back with Jill on the other side of the news as the X Zone continues from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, on the Talkstar Radio Network and on the X Zone Broadcast Network. Don't go away.
It was a terrifying experience.
I thought we was going to go to jail for murder.
That day, we were a little behind, so we worked until it was starting to get dark.
We loaded up the equipment and hadn't driven very far when we caught glimmers of this glow coming through the trees. I urged Mike to hurry up and get up there.
Travis had the door open before we even stopped. As he got closer, I heard the sound.
One of the guys said, "You feel that?"
I really panicked then.
I told him, "Get the hell out of here."
It didn't come directly to me, it came to a deputy sheriff. 3 of us volunteered right away to tell him what had happened.
Sheriff Gillespie definitely didn't believe it.
He says that we better be certain because we get in a lot of trouble.
When we went to search the next day, they split us up, and the whole time the deputies asked me, if you just tell us where the body is, we can all go home and get this over with.
We're talking about 100 people. Combing through the wooded area, nothing turns up.
All week long, I've been hearing they're going to set it up to make you guys look guilty.
We're a rough-looking bunch then. Some of us have been in trouble with the law before.
And y'all ain't never going to come out of that jailhouse.
We couldn't get out.
I tried to sneak out the back door the day of the polygraph test. I was scared to death.
On top of that, you have media.
I literally would be on 2 telephones at the same time.
We've even got some coops in here now that's coming in and out to see the freak show, as they call it.
Everyone descends.
I just wasn't going to stand there and listen to it anymore.
Granny says, "This is Travis. I'm back. I need help." When I did hear that he had been returned, it was almost as unbelievable as the original thing.
I just looked at my mom and says, "I told you we didn't kill him."
Travis Walton reappeared after several days with a bizarre story about a ride in an unidentified flying object.
People were desperate to explain it away.
Why are you sticking up with Travis for all this time? You know this really didn't happen.
What happened to Travis after we took off in that truck, I can't tell you.
I hated Travis for a long time after this. My whole world just tore up.
But I believe every word Travis said about it. He's never lied to me about nothing.
It's a net negative. We lost our jobs in the immediate aftermath.
And now you're not able to talk about it with anyone because you know that they're going to laugh at you, they're going to look at you like you're crazy.
But if you don't come out and tell your story, somebody else is going to tell it for you.
There's a degree of responsibility. Certainly I have to accept the bad. If I can direct what's happened in a way that I can make something good happen in the world, I'm looking for it.
Order your copy of Travis, The True Story of Travis Walton, today at www.traviswaltonthemovie.com.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X Zone radio show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, High Tech with Corey Kay, and every minute of the 24/7, 365 programming of the X Zone Broadcast Network by calling 712-432-9459, courtesy of TalkStream Live. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 712-432-9459 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember, 712-432-9459 for the best of paranormal, new age, thought-provoking, sci-fi radio programming 24/7, 365.
Wouldn't you love to know the secret to everything? Well then, meet Dr. Kimberly McGeorge and her cutting-edge breakthrough knowledge that combines science with possibility. Dr. Kimberly brings real-life answers and healing to those open to alternative solutions. She teaches solution-based programs and classes that will change all areas of your life forever. Specializing in conscious creation, intuitive readings, and energy medicine, you can rapidly shift health, relationships, business, and money and abundance challenges quickly. Receive her best-selling book, Secret to Everything, at no cost by going to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone. That's right, transformation can start now. Just go to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone and receive Dr. Kimberly's book for free.
While science pursues fact, magic accesses the quantum level, bridging random facts to form truth. As long as science and magic remain separate and polarized, the truth cannot be known. I'm Gwilda Wiyaka. Join me on the Science of Magic radio program, dedicated to unification and evolution of consciousness. During each episode, I'll be speaking with experienced and respected scientists and mystics. From astrologers to astronomers, from medical doctors to shaman, the scientific method to dowsing and intuition, we'll weave together information from seemingly divergent practices to promote unity and enlightenment. Join me, Gwilda Wiyaka, and the Science of Magic right here on the Mutual Broadcast Network. For more information, visit www.thescienceofmagic.net.
I am Dr. Carl O'Helvey, founder-president of a new cancer foundation focusing on evidence-based physical, mental, and spiritual interventions, including natural cancer cures, prayer, meditation, affirmations, nutrition, and other related holistic cancer prevention and cure modalities. These are used in cancer education, research, and financing care. I ask for your help to continue this important work by donating at www.holisticcancerfoundation.com.
Jill Dane's my special guest. www.jilldahne.com. That's JILLDAHNE.com. Jill, what about the environment, the global warming? What do you see for that in the future? Is it going to be better? Is it going to be exposed as a hoax?
No, for global warming, I feel it's going to be, I see it's going to be a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
I predicted this on your show once before, and I said that we were going to have crazy weather. And when I said crazy weather, you're going to start seeing snow everywhere, even snow in Florida. And everyone thought it was crazy when I predicted snow in Florida, and it snowed in 49 states. And then, I kept saying, oh, my God, tornadoes and and massive rain and floods, and that's what's been going on. And I kept seeing California with like these mudslides and those holes. I forgot what they're called, sinkholes. And things are, it's still going to continue going on this year, and it's going to continue like 2011, the beginning part, and then it's going to start dying down. So it's not going to be going on for the next 6 years, thank God.
Jill,
and Florida.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, dear.
Florida, thank God I don't see hurricanes, and thank God I've been predicting this for the past 3 years. And I said in Florida we're going to have floods, we're going to have massive rain, we'll have winds, but thank God I didn't see hurricanes. And knock on wood, 222, there hasn't been any hurricanes here. And I did want to say California, people have been putting, I call them fear factors, because this is what people put in people's minds. Mm-hmm. So people from California, they're all like, oh my God, should I move from California, because I hear California is going to be underwater, or Florida is going to be underwater, and Florida's still here, thank God, and California's still going to be here. And, everyone, I want them to calm down, whoever they know that lives in California, if there are people listening, California's going to be okay.
Over the years, Jill, there must have been times when what you have seen has just scared the hell out of you. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, a lot of times things have scared me, especially when, I've predicted things that, I don't want to see, or or murder cases, when I'm seeing, a murder case, and thank God, or like someone, I sent someone was sitting in front of me, and I said, leave here, go attend to your husband. And she's like, why? I said, just go attend to your husband. And as soon as she walked in the door, her husband was about to have a heart attack. So, thank God, things like that scares me, but I've overcome that because, I've dealt with murder cases when I was younger, and I'm still young, but, I've dealt with, frightening things, or, a lot of times if I see something not well, this is the chance that someone could fix it. And what I mean by fixing it, if somebody should not be having sugar, and they're having sugar, and if they stop, they won't have heart issues, or they won't go into the heart attack. Or if I saw somebody needs to go to a certain doctor, and if they prolong it, then, I saw somebody with, ovarian cancer, and because I got them to a doctor in time, they're, knock on wood, and I'll say 222, they're in New York. Thank God they're healthy today, and the 4th stage cancer is gone. So those things, it kills me inside, because every person that I speak to, either if it's at my lectures or they're in front of me, I feel like they're my family, and it hurts me when I see someone hurting. So, but there's been a lot of events, that it was scary. When I made that prediction about the Muslim attack in Washington, D.C., I was only 13 years old, and I saw blood, and I saw bombings, and I saw, guns, and I saw people dying, and, you see, and I was, in my, right in front of me, like I said, it's like a video camera. I see people, they weren't alive on the floor, and then March comes around 3 months later, and this happens to the time, to the date that I predicted it, and you see pictures in the news of people on the floor in front of the White House not alive, and blood and everything there. It was scary, but I've learned to overcome it, throughout the years.
How do you turn it off? Like when you go out with your son and your mom, you go down to the local shopping center or the local, restaurant area. How do you turn your psychic wisdom off?
It's hard. I try. I always try to see if I could just spend the time with my family, but it's amazing. I could be in a restaurant, I could be in a grocery store, and I'll be. It's hard, because I'm walking, and next thing I see a couple, and I'm like, oh my God, those two people don't belong together. He's cheating on her, and it just, or someone will come up to me, because when I'm in the grocery store, I'm in the Globe magazine, and they're like, oh my God, Jill, can you sign this, So it's hard. It's hard. Or if I'm getting on a airplane, and I'm flying, like I'm going to be going to New York to do lectures at the end of the month, there are some people that do know me, some people that don't, but the ones that do, it happens all the time. I get on the airplane and they clap. And the reason why they clap because they know the plane's safe, or else I wouldn't go on it.
Maybe just for a joke.
It's funny.
Maybe for a joke one day you should wear a parachute onto the plane and just scare the hell out of everybody. I don't know.
Oh God, they'll probably arrest me, huh? But it's true. There was a time where I kept seeing a lot of planes crashing. This was going back 5 years ago. And little small planes, so I wouldn't get on the plane. I was supposed to do a TV show in Orlando. So we ended up doing the interviews through the phone. And they're like, Jill, Dane keeps seeing plane crashes. And one by one, like the NBC NBC person was on it and the plane crashed. And it was like 10 different planes crashing in a row. Those are things I don't want to see. I dread to see, I love to see happy things, but then along, in life, not everything's always happy, too.
Jill, you've worked on murder cases. Can you share some of those case histories with us and how you were able to help law enforcement out?
Yes. Well, there was one case where a girl, a woman, she was a correctional officer. She came to see me, and it was about a relationship. And this was one of them in 2002. And in 2001, I'm sorry, and I saw a little girl getting murdered. Her name was Megan Runo, and she was in Stark, Florida. So the mother was a correctional officer, and she goes, Jill, can you help me? The case was never solved. And I saw the name Michael, and I saw a red truck, and I described exactly what I saw. We ended up, long story short, we ended up going down to Stark, Florida. And I went down there and I solved the case basically within a day, but then 9/11 happened. And we ended up going to the head police station. I got to see the things the little girl had and, their evidence, it's called. And I kept saying, I want you to test the fingerprints in her purse. And I said on the screen there's fingerprints, and the police officer said, but you know how many people have touched the screen? I go, I don't care. I'm looking for one fingerprint. And it ended up it was 3 years later, they finally went back into the case. And this happened in 1989. And because of those fingerprints, and they exhumed her body, the piece of hair that was on her, the man's name was Michael Knickenbocker that killed her. Exactly what I saw. And he's in jail for life. They gave him life with no parole because the family, and I have the confession on tape, I have it here, because we're making a whole documentary about it. And then 3 years ago, I was in North Miami Beach with the North Miami Beach Police, and I went into the police station. We did a whole TV show on this, and I picked out a case out of all the cases, and I picked one case out, and it was this boy, and he got shot 5 times in the back in front of his house, and they had no witness, they had witnesses, but nothing, nothing to go upon. And my mother, Mickey Dane, and I worked on that case, and it took, I think, 3.5 weeks, and we got the person, and the person is now in jail.
When you go out to do lectures and courses, Jill, do the people find it hard to become intuitive, or is it just a matter of showing them, or not showing them, but helping them to open up their abilities?
A lot of, it's so amazing that, nowadays, if I could say, people are more in tune into intuition. Growing up, people that knew me and knew my mom, they were always fascinated, wanted to know something, but they weren't, they were going to my mom's lectures that she was having and watching her on TV and City TV in Canada, and, but they weren't as fine-tuned as they are today. And so the people that show up at my lectures, they're all spiritual. And there are some people that, just are curious, And it's amazing how within the time that, I do my lectures, it could be on soulmates and relationships or tapping into your own intuition. it's amazing how after my lecture they want more, and they're so excited and they want to, follow their dreams or write their dreams down or tap into their intuition and start using their intuition, because in reality, everyone has intuition. Do they listen to their intuition? No. Some people are more stronger than one another, like myself and a lot of other people, because they've been using it their whole life. But there's been a lot of people that had intuition their whole lives, which everyone does have, but they weren't allowed to use it because of their parents. And now they're grown up and they're using it all the time, and they come to the lectures. They'll come to my lectures. They'll come to other people's lectures. They'll read books, and they start enhancing their intuition. Whatever comes to their mind first, they'll be saying, instead of second-guessing themselves. Then they'll realize, what I would love is if they would go and say, once they're not in a healthy relationship, and and they know the person's not right for them, I wish they would use their intuition and say, you know what, I'm walking away, but their heart is keeping them there. You understand what I'm saying, Rob?
I certainly do.
But majority of people know the person's not right for them, but they still stay there. And they're like, why didn't I know this? Well, you did know this.
You just didn't want to listen to yourself.
All you have to do is walk away, but everybody's human and they're in love, so they don't want to walk away. It's hard.
Jill, do you find the questions that you're being asked when you do private one-on-one readings are changing? Are they getting more spiritual? Are they getting more in-depth? Or are they still the, am I going to find Mr. and Mrs. Right? Am I going to find that job? Am I going to get money? Are the questions changing, or is this a sign of the times?
Every person that I've spoken to is so different. I deal with companies that are just, want to know about their business, and I hire and we fire people, There are some people that should not be working for certain people because, they're not doing anything and they're paying them, and they don't even run their own business, so they don't know. And then there are people that come to me, they want to know about relationships, they want to know about the future, they want to know about someone that has passed, they want to know about murder cases. I mean, every question is so different. So I can't say each person that comes to me is so different. They ask something different, or something I see is different. There are some people that I saw them going to law school. And they're going to law school. And then I said, but the thing is, I don't see you staying in law school. You're going to end up going into medicine. And they're like, why would I go to school for all these years? And then 10 years later, something interests them because they're becoming holistic. And that's what you can say. They're becoming holistic, and now they want to go into a holistic field, into medicine. And they're like, Jill told me that years ago, So it's amazing.
Jill, what's the strangest question you've ever been asked?
Is my husband gay? No, the strangest. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Only if he works for Home and Garden TV. Yeah.
No, it's not a strange question. I could say it's an absurd question. When is my, because I don't predict when someone's going to pass away. I will never say that in my life. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in a time, people, there are doctors out there that say you have a year to live, and people live 15 more years, So I will never in life predict a death. I always tell people, if you're going to ask me that, don't ask me. But I have some women out there that say, and this is to me it's a strange question, because I think it's absurd, that when is my husband going to die so I could collect all the money?
Oh boy, you and I have to take a commercial break on that one. Jill Dahne is our special guest, the Love Psychic. www.jilldahne.com. That's JILLDAHNE.com. Don't go away. We'll be back after this break.
Wouldn't you love to know the secret to everything? Well then, meet Dr. Kimberly McGeorge and her cutting-edge breakthrough knowledge that combines science with possibility. Dr. Kimberly brings real-life answers and healing to those open to alternative solutions. She teaches solution-based programs and classes that will change all areas of your life forever. Specializing in conscious creation, intuitive readings, and energy medicine, you can rapidly shift health, relationships, business, and money and abundance challenges quickly. Receive her best-selling book, Secret to Everything, at no cost by going to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone. That's right, transformation can start now. Just go to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone and receive Dr. Kimberly's book for free.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone radio show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, High Tech with Corey Kay, and every minute of the 24/7, 365 programming of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 712-432-9459, courtesy of TalkStream Live. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 712-432-9459 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember, 712-432-9459 for the best of paranormal, new age, thought-provoking, sci-fi radio programming 24/7, 365.
Coming soon to the X-Zone Broadcast Network is A Different Perspective with me, Kevin Randall, as your host. We'll be taking a close look at what is happening in the world of UFOs today with side trips into the paranormal. Guests will range from those who are household names to those who have a different perspective on a variety of topics. No topic will be taboo, but there will be tough questions asked as we all search for the truth about UFOs, the paranormal, and those things that excite us. Sometimes we'll agree with a guest and sometimes we won't, but we'll try to keep the program topical. For those of you who would like to read, be sure to visit www.kevinrandall.blogspot.com and remember to listen to the other fine programs on the X-Zone Broadcast Network at www.xzbn.net. This is Kevin Randall. For nearly 30 years, I have been investigating the case of the Roswell UFO. I have interviewed hundreds of people and stood on the crash site. Now in Roswell in the 21st century, I have reviewed dozens of hours of audio and videotaped interviews, examined hundreds of files that relate to the crash, and have returned to Roswell in an attempt to put all that information into the proper perspective. For the first time in Roswell in the 21st century, I have made a dispassionate reevaluation of all that material and provide a new look at what happened. This is a book that clears away all the clutter that has hidden the truth for so long, strips away the various lies that surround the case, exposes the Air Force attempts at cover-up, and found a core of solid information that tells us all where the case stands today. Roswell in the 21st century will be available in just a few weeks. For more information, please visit my website at www.kevinrandall.blogspot.com.
What Happened in Benghazi is revealed by Nicholas Genix, author of Obama, Islam, and Benghazi. He informs the American people that President Obama deceived them by advocating a strong foreign policy prior to the 2012 presidential election, and Hillary Clinton supported this deception. As the title infers, there is a connection between Obama, Islam, and Benghazi. Ample evidence informs Americans that Obama's early indoctrination in the Quran developed an affinity for Islam, why the Quran is the source of discontent in many countries, and why the Obama foreign policy deception led to poor military action and caused the loss of American lives in Benghazi. Genix provides 36 questions for the Select Committee on Benghazi to validate if Americans are justified to mistrust President Obama and Hillary Clinton. An overview of Obama, Islam, and Benghazi is presented on the website www.futureofgodamen.com. That's www.futureofgodamen.com. Afterlife expert Roberta Grimes was the first one to say that dying can be fun. Now her best-selling book, The Fun of Dying, is available in stores worldwide. So if you wonder whether death ends life, how it feels to die, or what heaven might be like, The Fun of Dying was written for you. And if you have always been afraid of death, or if you worry that your life has no meaning, let The Fun of Dying ease your fears and bring new meaning to your life. Nothing said in The Fun of Dying is based on the teachings of any religion. Instead, Roberta draws on evidence to explain how death happens, how it feels, and what comes next. A lot of the best death-related evidence was produced in the first half of the 20th century. When it is put together with recent discoveries, it tells a consistent and amazing story. Roberta Grimes blogs and answers questions at robertagrimes.com. Her wonderful book, The Fun of Dying, is available on Amazon and at stores worldwide wherever books are sold. Jill Dahne is our special guest this hour, Exo Nation. www.jilldahne.com. That's JILLDAHNE.com. First of all, Jill, I want to thank you so much for joining us. It's always great having you with us here in the X Zone. And you are so busy. You're working on a TV show. You've got your own radio show. You are doing lectures, seminars. You're doing private readings. Where do you get the time for Jill?
I don't. I make time. You know, everyone says, how do you do all this?
Yeah.
And you have children, you know, and like tomorrow I'm taking off and I'm being a mother for the class for Butterfly World. You know, I made it to that point for my daughter Zoe. But, you know, it's hard. You know, I try. My therapy is when I go do my lectures in New York, you know, I take one day for myself and, you know, that's my therapy, you know, and that's my enjoyment. I love New York City. But, you know, I love people, you know, and this, you know, when you're doing this your whole life and you're doing it from your heart and, you know, you care about people, and I've cared about people, God, my whole entire life, you know, and this is what I enjoy. And I'm going to continue, hopefully, my whole life doing this.
When you go to when you go to New York City, what do you do for yourself? What do you do? Go shopping? Do you go to the theater? Do you just enjoy yourself?
When I go to New York, I have my lectures, and then at nighttime I get to meet up with some family members who I don't get to see very often in New York. I meet up with friends, singers, famous stars that are good friends of mine and singers. There are times, you know, every time I go up there is different. Like one night, there's some amazing singers that are out there that, you know, I don't want to mention names, but, you know, I'll sit there and they'll be playing music and we'll have food and we'll just sit there and relax. It's amazing. And then, you know, just walk around the city and, well, not really walk because I don't walk. I don't like walking, but, you know, seeing, you know, certain things in the city, seeing some of my friends, famous singers sing in some of the clubs there and seeing a show, you know, and that's my enjoyment of New York. I love it.
Jill,
and being with good people.
Well, this hour has gone by so fast, my dear. Let our listeners know how they can get a hold of you and what you're going to be up to in the next couple of months.
They could get a hold of me. They could call my office at 954-964-3541 or my website, JillDahne.com. I have a TV show that I'll be telling you first all about it once it's signed, and we're really excited about it. It's something different, and it's not out there that no one else has, so it's going to be really good. And we're going to get Rob on there, and I hope. And I'm doing lectures at the end of March. I'll be in the city on the 26th, 27th, and 28th and 29th. And I do want to say one thing. I made this prediction a few years ago, and I'm still standing by it, about the Botox. Please, everyone, use Restylane, no Botox, and drink bottled water.
Jill, thank you very much for joining us. Take care of yourself. Regards to your family. Say hi to your mom for me. And we look forward to the next time you join us here in the X Zone.
Thank you. You're my favorite.
Take care, sweetheart. Jill Dahne,
Bye-bye.
JillDahne.com. We'll be back on the other side of this commercial break. Don't go away.